What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name After Sound, and I do have a new song out recently called Tides, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, let's talk about the Spellbook purchases. It is the early parts of September still, and so I just recently did one of those Spellbook sign up and conversion calculations. So the last time I did this was early August. It was August 8th. The previous time before that was about July 12th. So like I said, I'm doing this roughly at the beginning of every month. I know there was like a month that I missed, and July 12th is more like mid-July, but you get my point. We're just trying to see what this looks like, and I'm taking in the full 180 days past, right? So from where we're at, 90 days, 30 days, and then of course the last 2 weeks. So we have some very interesting numbers here, especially when compared to the last two check-ins that we've done in July and August respectively. So here we go. I'm going to dive in and start with the spellbooks, and you can see that there was a massive increase in the amount of spellbooks purchased. Now again, you can clearly see this on the 30-day, right? Obviously anything that happens within the last 30 days is also going to impact the last 90 and 100 days, 180 days, right? So on the whole, you can see here that the 30-day is where things got really interesting. So just within the last month, we went from 150 spellbooks in a month, right, up to 529 in the past month or the past 30 days, which is more than, that's more than like 3x, right? Maybe 3.5x at that point. So that is quite good. And that's coming off of, July, which is relatively slow for us, going from, 89 up to 150. Now, for context, we can go back and see that the other high point that we had, I guess maybe earlier in the year, was 115 for February, and then maybe we had 183 back in June. But 529 blows any and everything out of the water so far, right? And then when you filter that up, you can see, for the 90-day, we're up to 748, and on the 180-day, we're 1,084. Again, those aren't as interesting because it includes where all the major activity happened, which was in the past month. Now, it has slowed down significantly in the past 2 weeks. So really what I'm talking about is like 3 and 4 weeks ago, not the last 2 weeks. But you can see that the average sign up per day during that time frame, or if you include the last 30 days, is 17.6 per day, right? It's come down to like 10 per day, which again is still higher than anything that we've seen in recent history. So obviously, it's a good sign. I mean, there's a little bit of, we're in like a weird, I guess with the beginning of September, especially, or even going into the end of August. Everybody knows September is definitely, or usually, I shouldn't say definitely, but usually a down month for Bitcoin. We've seen it across the board here. A lot of crypto got hit. So I'm not surprised to see September being a little off, which might even impact next month's numbers too. But again, that's all to be expected, as hopefully we round the corner into Q4 of a bull run year. Although I have to say at this point, it's like, I don't even know if the 4-year cycle and all the stuff that we've been following is even applicable anymore. Everything's been different from the time that, Bitcoin essentially broke through its new all-time high before the halving, right? So this bull run, this cycle, whatever it is, just feels completely different. And I don't know what to expect. I'm not saying it in one of those like, oh, this time is different. This is a super cycle. This is whatever. No, I'm literally saying like, I have no idea what to expect. There's so many different things that are impacting the economics behind Bitcoin, right? With all of the institutional capital flowing in, the ETF adoption, Bitcoin treasury companies. And then on top of that, you have crazy geopolitical macro influences that we've seen just over the past 6 months, right, with the new administration. And we don't really know what to expect over the next 6 months, right? Everything is just such a toss-up. So I say that not to be political, not to be bullish or bearish. It's simply we don't know what to expect. And, despite that, we're still seeing solid numbers in the game, and solid numbers for Bitcoin at least, which hopefully means that this bull run is not yet done. But this is not financial advice, so take it all with a grain of salt. Okay, so getting back into the numbers here, let's go down into the signups now, and you can see that we actually had a decent amount of signup increases as well. Now, this isn't anything out of ordinary. In fact, if we look at like the 30-day marker, because that's really where the biggest changes are, right? So like last month, over the past 30 days, we were at 4,100, maybe 4,200. This time we're at 5,300, which both times were actually less than what we saw in terms of signups back in July, which was just under like 6,000, right? So we saw a massive amount of people come in July, but the difference here, and this is where the beauty of whatever I'm following or whatever I'm calculating is the conversion rate. So conversion rate is simply what is the amount of Spellbook purchases to the amount of signups. And over the last 30 days, right? And this probably was even higher during the 3 and 4 weeks ago rather than the full 30 days. We were at a 10% conversion rate, which is absolutely wild and awesome. Now, on the last couple of weeks here, we've dropped back down to 6.5% conversion rate, but 6.5% is still better than anything that we've seen in the past. And especially when you look at it against other 14-day, or let's just do both 14 and 30-day running periods, right? Nothing is even remotely close. We've had a lot in the 3, maybe 4% range. Closest we got was back in June, where over a 14-day stretch, we had 5.36, maybe 5% in August. But again, like we saw a very solid uptick in the past couple of weeks here, which again I take as a positive sign, because this is coming in after the team has delivered on a lot of the new player experience items that they wanted. Frontier mode, the foundation set, campaign mode, all of these different areas in which people can come in and play. And I'm seeing new people on Discord, on X, right? Even on my YouTube channel. So it's actually fantastic. And I think that once things get back into a more stable place when it comes to crypto, when it comes to Bitcoin, and people feel like the bull run is still on, or at least, not as a lot of people are saying like the top is in already, which again, maybe it could be, right? Maybe it could be. But once we just get into a little bit more of a stable place, I do think that the focus will then shift once again to the game fundamentals. And is this a fun place to come play? Is the team doing, what they need to and delivering new experiences? And more importantly, and this is where things could get a little fun and tricky here, but if the mini set and the proposal for the mini set looks like it's going to happen, but if that goes through and we start to see a good amount of buying of SPS that shoots up the value of SPS, rewards for the game start to go up, and that could make things really juicy. Now, it's not due to the flywheel, and DEC will actually be a little bit lower just because we're not pulling in that same demand for DEC as we are for SPS. But in a way, that could be interesting, right? Where it's just like people come in because the rewards are higher, but the entry into the game is actually cheaper, because if you want to buy cards, if you want to buy Conclave Arcana cards, I should say, or you want to just participate in anything DEC related in the game, it's like a 20 to 25% discount right now, and the rewards are still going up, right? So it's a little bit disconnected there, but arbitrage is where people jump in for opportunity, and when people do that, momentum can come in the most random of ways, right? So I'm hopeful that we will see a lot more positive momentum in the future, whether that's with tailwinds or headwinds from the broader crypto market. But regardless, the numbers look fantastic, especially this past month, and I got to give a shout out to the team. The new player retention metrics, all the stuff that they're doing and tracking and implementing, it seems to be working well, and that is fantastic to see by the numbers. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.